So this experiment is called No Mess Egg Volcanoes. For the experiment, we will need some equipment which comprises of a medicine dropper or pipette, some water, some vinegar. I've got white rice vinegar, lemon juice, and you will need some powders. So I've got a bath bomb, I've got some salt, and I've also got some bicarbonate of soda. Whilst it says no mess, it is also useful to have some kitchen roll, in case you do make a mess. In fact, I'm going to put some underneath the egg carton now because it will leak a bit. There we go. Right. So now that we've got our equipment, the next step is to get on with the experiment. First of all, I'm going to add the powders into the egg box using the end of a teaspoon to help me do that. So I've just started with the bicarbonate of soda, and then so we're not cross-contaminating, I'm just going to dip that into the water and wipe it off with some kitchen roll. And then I've got some salt, which I'm going to put into this one. And a bath bomb, which I'm going to put into here. So I'm actually going to repeat that and only use the lemon juice and the vinegar. And what we're testing for is the fizziness. Okay. One last piece of equipment that I forgot to mention is an Eppendorf. It's a test tube with a lid on it, or a dropper. And that is quite useful to use for this experiment, because as you can see, I've just put it into the two volcano-like structures in the middle of the egg box, which we will use later. So now that we've got our powders together, what I'm going to do is add a few drops of the liquid. And in my notes for today, I've done a table at the bottom, and I've written down one side the liquids that I'm using, so water, rice vinegar and lemon juice. But in this case, because I don't have enough holes, I'm just going to use the rice vinegar and lemon juice. And then across the top I've got the powders, so bicarbonate of soda, the bath bomb and the salt. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tick or put a cross in the boxes as to which one works the best, and the double tick for the fizziest. So to begin with, I am going to start with some lemon juice, and I'm going to put that into the bath bomb. So that one I'm going to put a tick. So the next one that I'm going to try out, after I've washed the pipette in my beaker of water, is let's try the lemon juice with the bicarbonate of soda. So this one. And the final one that we're going to do with the lemon juice is the salt. And I'm going to mix that a bit with a spoon. Okay, so that had no reaction. So I'm going to put a cross on that one. So after washing out my pipette again, I'm going to use the same liquids into the others. So let's start with vinegar in the bath bomb. Okay, I'm going to add a few more drops of that. Didn't quite catch the... Okay, so that is pretty fizzy. I would say it's probably just as fizzy as the ones with lemon juice. So now I'm going to move on to the vinegar with the salt. Okay, a few more drops. Okay, again, we've got no reaction. And the final one that we're going to do is the vinegar with the bicarbonate of soda. And that immediately is by far the fizziest that we've had. So I'm going to put a double tick to that one. So I thought, what happens if we add the lemon juice and the vinegar into the pipette and then add all three powders? What happens then? Do we end up with the fizziest of all reactions? Let's give it a go. And again, all of these chemicals or ingredients are perfectly safe. I would not do this with chemicals. So I've just added some lemon juice, and now I'm going to add some vinegar. And now I'm going to add the powders using the end of a teaspoon. So 1, 2, and I'm just going to pour that in. And you can add more food colouring if you want to, but I'm not going to in this case. So that reacted pretty quickly. I think I preferred the other one with the vinegar and the bicarbonate of soda, because that reacted more slowly. So the chemical reaction that we've seen is when I add, so let's take rice vinegar and bicarbonate of soda for example, because that was the best one. So in the vinegar there's an acid, and when I add the bicarbonate of soda, what happens is it releases a gas, carbon dioxide, which is why you get the fizziness and the bubbles, a bit like the lava lamp experiment. So if you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel, and also check out my website. Thank you, and see you next time. Bye.